And I'm hoping for a third game, truthfully.
I'm just gonna like go into player perspective, click on Pudge, enjoy my. You
Sit
guys
back,
can talk
relax.
about it. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it. That's it.
Yeah, free coaching session. Pause one, Pudge. Very cool. I don't know. I think this will probably get shut down.
Oh, ooh, gosh, avalanche on for 3. That was actually massive. Ame's already dead. Yang getting first blood. Yang gang, gang gang, buzz buzz.
Okay, let me take off the player perspective. Move somewhere else.
All I'm saying is I was talking up this Brewmaster when you're talking up the Pudge. Let's maybe switch over before the Yang gang.
I'll switch over to the 3 ends. I'll be watching them.
The fellas.
Yeah, they really rushed that high ground. Like, I mean, it's something that these teams know about each other really well, and it's fun to watch these mind games early on. Sometimes they smoke up, they move where they expect a team to be. It's always fun to watch. Pudge misses up that hook. He actually tried to get the bounty, but gets tiny instead. That's how many? That's 3 for Vici Gaming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Or 2-2? It's still 2-2. Zincu got 2, Erika and Shama got 2. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's 2-2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You saw the first blood just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
And I saw the plus 40 on the end of it as well. That one really threw me off. Wow. A stupid monkey brain looking for patterns.
Classic.
So, how does this lane go mid? Sand King up against the Queen of Pain.
I mean, this should be a QOP favorite, right? You're far enough back that you can't take advantage of the Caustic Finale. You're always able to get the Shadow Strikes off him. The only issue is you need to buy Sentry Wards for the lane.
It should be, right? Just spam the Shadow Strike with sentries. That's it. Then again,
they have control.
We used to hate Sand King mid so much. it used to, let's just say, not do as much in the Chinese region as it's usually expected from a Sand King. And there is overall just something about Sand King in the Chinese region, not even only mid, even offlane, that I dislike. I don't know, it just never seems to do as much as in different regions. Perhaps just not a region favorite hero, like not one that you see very often in pubs or something, so you don't practice it as much. Even on this level, like, how many times did we see an offlane Sand King just completely fall apart, even from PSG.LGD?
Yeah, certainly Sand King sometimes feels like it really misses the mark here in China, and I'm interested to see how Nothing to Say kind of plays it, especially considering the fact that, like,
Innocence?
This is now 2 heroes that Nothing to Say is kind of put together on this that have felt a little bit not his style. Ooh, gets the slow ward up top, trying to keep up with Y. I mean, the creeps certainly are.
He has a toss now. This should be a kill.
He's just gonna die to tower. Or yeah. I'm gonna get credit for the kill.
Gets the credit.
Top didn't connect with them, but I think it's like a 30-second window, right?
Yeah, he still had time. And when you're talking about heroes that aren't necessarily Nothing to Say's style, like we were discussing his Pango as well, and it didn't look too great for like a couple of months even, I would say the majority of the last year, and then suddenly he started owning with it. So, you know, give this guy a couple of series and he just becomes so on point.
The Cinderbrew burning, they've got the toss again, going into the Arctic Burn over to the side is why, but they've got the Avalanche, they have the right clicks, they'll get the kill. Ame not exactly having a fun time in this lane.
It's a huge creep wave coming to him, so he will get the farm, most likely, if Y manages to control it before the tower. Yeah, he'll get it. Plus, he's only level 3. Like, you need level 2 Flash Heap on the Pudge. Once you get that level 2 Flash Heap, you start feeling kinda invincible already. Yeah. So we have to wait. We have to wait for that to happen, at least.
By the way, Lizard, what's your opinion on the fact that Flesh Heap does not say how long it lasts on the tooltip?
I mean, that's the way it should be on every single thing, right? Like Yank dropping really low, but yeah, skill based. You know, this was always a skill based game. We're not some League of Legends. Don't give us anything. Just give us pictures.
No.
Just give us question marks on spells. You know, you should know.
I like that attitude. It's a man who was forged for the fires of Dota 1.
Exactly, right? Like, we didn't even have stun indicators like up to, I don't know, a couple of, was it 5-6 years ago that we got them?
Stun indicators? Yeah, you could have know how long you was stunned for.
You just had to know, you just had to feel it. And all these kids winning TI like Team Spirit, the hell they would win it in my time, man. Like.
All right, old man. Get off my lawn. Avalanche up top. Jaume with the killing spree. Oh my.
Back in my time.
I remember not remembering any abilities.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't look like. Alright, here's the second point of flesh heap at level 5. So he goes 1-2-2 on this one. I'm not familiar with the pause 1 Pudge build, but I imagine this is standard.
I think this is what you go on any. It's not even unless you're some support, which I don't see why you would be in this patch. But if you go mid, if you go off lane, if you go safe lane, you need to max out rot and flash heap pretty much. So it's solid as well. It definitely makes the hero much harder to lane against.
Yep. And then it looks like he's going for phase boots immediately afterwards. A little bit of armor will probably go a long way here.
Yeah, he used the flash heap, so needs to be careful. Oh, okay, that hook.
Yeah, that hook was interesting.
Ambitious.
Ooh, avalanche and the toss.
Yeah,
Toss the avalanche.
I actually thought that he might get the Wind Ranger because of that, because he had this member, right? Like, but
Flesh heap stacks, never heard of him.
And he can twice as long on creeps, so he goes back to full HP by just dropping this member off of the Centaur here.
Meanwhile, nothing to say gets a kill solo on XM. That's pretty wild that he gets that solo kill, considering that he must have caught him without the blink, right?
Mm-hmm. With the epicenter as well.
Yeah.
Just gets in a couple of caustic finale hits, and Queen of Pain isn't the tankiest hero at the moment.
Maybe 0-2 by the way, but he's top of the net worth.
He's spamming the soul ring. Like, keep in mind that this hero in position 1, you get the soul ring and you just spam meat hooks on the hard camp. So and if you get down low, you just use this member with the soul ring and you heal up completely. So overall, the hero just farms incredibly fast.
Jaume again trying to set up to get a kill here. And level 4 for Y and Avalanche toss. Cinder Brew has the cold embrace. Nobody coming to save the Winter Wyvern's life, and not even Pudge. Friendship with Y over. And there's the power shot kill.
Didn't have the mana to help out anyways. Did get at the moment the Winter Wyvern died, but I don't think would have been able to assist. Plus, if you use that hook to save the Winter Wyvern, you could be hooking a creep in that time.
I want to say I agree, because I feel like Soul Ring was off cooldown when that was going on, so he definitely had the mana.
It was on cooldown.
Ain't got no time for saving teammates. Gotta kill creeps.
Yeah, it could gain like 40 gold from hooking like an Alpha Wolf or something like that.
And he's going for this early Vanguard on Pudge. We've seen that. I've seen that with Black streams and Lizard streams. Everybody's going Vanguard when they go on this Pudge. And it's Vanguard into the axe.
That's to be expected, right? Like you get the Vanguard combos with the Flash Sheep, just so much damage reduction. Then you get the Aghanims for the actual damage, and become a beast, really. Like the hero, the Agonist's damage is a bit busted. It's way too strong. The rot just cuts heroes.
The 220 damage per second with the 500 AoE or something like that. Yeah,
and the regen reduction as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Visually, it needs to be bigger because that's just thrown me off so many times in games where Pudge freshly like completes his Aghanim Scepter, and I'm like almost 600 attack range away from him.
They're wrapping around him really nicely from all sides. Yeah.
Ame on the run, nowhere for him to go though. Erica comes in, TP's forward, and they get another kill on Ame. Did for the third time this game, 6-1. They were looking for the +1 of Y, but he gets out with the Arctic Burn going over to the east and making sure that he's away from these heroes. And 4 showed up top. You really want to bail on that.
Yeah, we really just need to wait for the Sand King to get his link, and that's right now. And at 9:30 he gets...
Oh. Why Cold Embrace? But there's the Cinder Brew. They should be able to ignite it. Probably gonna die and make the score that Brazil line, and that's exactly what it is. But they're thinking about going to the epicenter. Primal split already. Blink Burrow Strike comes in. It's through on XM. The Shackle connects onto Nothing to Say. Primal split really hasn't done anything, and yeah, I mean the Burrow Strike coming in with the epicenter to kill them feels pretty decent.
They saw him. I wonder why XM doesn't just blink away or move away a bit. Like, they saw him. Brewmaster started splitting. There's a Radiant Ward. You can see it on the stairs right south from Fate Beyond. But okay, they get a really decent kill there for the Sand King. Good first usage of that Blink Dagger. They aren't getting any map control though, that has to be said. Like bottom tier 1 tower completely full HP, mid tier 1 tower almost full HP as well. So when it comes to the Dead Prophet, these exorcisms have not been... It's very early on obviously, but they haven't damaged any towers.
People still use...
Dire structures are fortified.
It's been reduced by 50%.
I mean, it was busted before. Now it's just
balanced.
Yeah, now it.
Dire's bottom tower.
Ooh, hook lands. Jalma still has the toss though. As Dismember, if you can get into range, and of course that's
illegal Dismember.
Very in range. That seemed like, yeah, sure.
Everything tossed away. Frog intended.
He has phase boots, right? So it makes it look like he's not really in range. I mean, you know, like I still need to keep good connections with Gabe and Ice Frog. I need to stay on the good side.
Yeah. It's this is a TI caster here.
Guys, it's the phases, guy. I want to go to Singapore. It's the phases.
Oh, sorry. Let me redo that then. That was very on point, just like this Blink Burrow Strike onto Victoria. They've got the dust on Nothing to Say. He's trying to TP out, thinking about the Sonic Wave, and throws it anyway, and delayed on it. Nothing to Say going to be able to TP out.
He barely lives even in the fountain. He had like Shadow Strike Urn on him. He also had Cinder Brew. Wasn't that easy to survive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, cast ranges are perfect in this game. Everything's been pretty much on point.
It's gonna be okay, buddy. All right, Pudge. He's Aghanim Scepter queued up next.
Split was used. InQ in trouble. They got the kill in a while. They'll throw the Doom out onto the Nature's Prophet before he dies. Burrow Strike with the epicenter. They get the kill there on Erica. Again, Nothing to Say though. Dusted up and while trying to find himself a spot where he can survive. Burrow Strike comes in, and now the hook to follow it up. XM. Oh gosh.
1 second on the Dismember. 1 second cooldown, and he'd have her. Unfortunate.
Nice hook there for sure, though. He's gonna keep going. I think he's gonna try to grab this Tiny here. No? Oh, tries to grab the Brewmaster instead, but misses. Speaking of Brew, now has the gold for this Spirit Vessel. This is a big item in this game. You're playing against a lot of tanky heroes.
Yeah, versus the Pudge as well. Like, Doom, Pudge, Dead Prophet, right? Plus the Cold Embrace. It's really important versus all of them. Yeah, I think the main target should be the Pudge. At this point, at least, right? Like, you really want to use it on him. Especially when he has this Vanguard plus Rot, he loses a ton of damage.
They found the Tiny. That was a very quick finger on the Exorcism. They really need to make something of this.
Yeah, well, it was right beside the mid tower. It's kind of like what Lizard was talking about. Like they really want to make towers happen with this one. So he might as well use it there.
When you look at their team, they don't have any other ways, right? Like they have no ways of taking objectives besides the Exorcism at the moment.
And there goes the Death Prophet, Faith Beyond. That's his first death of the game. Meanwhile, Y trying to escape the grasp of this Vici side, and it's now 12-6 with Yang dominating. He's 4-0-6.
And he's getting those vessel charges that are so important.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Man, that's rough. It wasn't even like full damage that came out from the Cinder Brew there, but that Death Prophet ended up taking like 500 magic damage from the Spirit Vessel plus Cinder Brew. You're just ticking down. So little that you're able to do against this one. I love this hero, man.
Brewmaster?
Yeah.
I love him up to the point in which he gets like Aghanim plus Refresher, and then my game is infested with pandas.
Yeah, that's half the fun. It's when you're playing the Brewmaster, because you can rat with it as well.
Well, they're about to do something.
They're gonna look to get
him.
the kill. They've got the Doom, so this should at least try to help them secure it into the Dismember, and it's the Caustic Finale pop on Yang.
Yang getting shambles.
On one side you get Vessel Charges, on the other you get this Pudge with Flesh Heap. He has an Ogre Axe, 1500 gold, getting closer to the Aghanims. Just a couple of more minutes and he should be there.
Radiant are scanning.
As long as he has time to farm, right? That's one thing that I think VG's been doing pretty well with their lineup. They've just been running at them non-stop aggression. They've been doing a decent job with this, the Nature's Prophet.
They've been doing that, but
really
still, LGD has the net worth lead. Like, Pudge is at the top.
Look, you have Jinkyu on position 4 buying a Midas. And he has the same amount of net worth as the Brewmasters, so I believe that's probably that X factor that's bringing the net worth up.
Yeah, I will say though, Ame being top of the net worth is still in a decent spot, but this is typical Zinq going, I am the carry now. Blink, Kid. Big pull, Spirit Vessel on the run, Sonic Wave, and dead, but the Barrel Strike comes through. Now toss on the Queen of Pain. They go into the Primal Split. They have the vision on Nothing to Say. He's trying to get away, but there's no chance for him to do so. This is allowing Ame to get the farm for an Ags, but they circle the map. They kind of have an inkling.
Very good inkling.
A very good spider senses as Ame's going to get the hook. But they've got Erica coming over. Here comes Zinq. There's the blink as well as the stun on the 2. Looks over. Erica, Shadow from Victoria. Power shot through. Exorcism used. Pudge in trouble. Dismembering, trying to survive. But eventually the Wrath of Nature cuts him in half. And Erica gets credit for the kill. They take out Jauma. They look over at Erica. Faith Beyond chasing. The Crypt Swarm lands. That's going to be 2 kills. Doom. Jinkyu in trouble. Spirit Vessel again doing enough damage. They've got the silence thanks to Faith Beyond, who's keeping up with this Spirit Siphon. Faith Beyond running down Yang. Triple kill for Faith Beyond. Can he get a 4th here on Victoria? Ultra kill is in his sights, but not in his grasp, as Faith Beyond getting a lot out of that, and it ends up being an equal trade for gold. Again, Ame now falling just short of that Ags, which he almost had the gold for.
It was a nice play by them. They managed to stall the majority of that flesh heap as well. So afterwards, like by the time everyone had come in, they could spam their skills off him, and the Pudge wasn't so tanky in the end and managed to bring him down. I think if they waste their abilities at first, they don't do enough to him, and PSG.LGD ended up winning that team fight a lot harder than they did. Well, I'm not sure if you'd call it a win, but Faith Beyond is going to be pretty happy after that one.
Yeah, he picks up a good chunk of gold, has 1,400 now, ready to go. They've got the Gale Force of that first item of the Shard. Epicenter used, and Faith Beyond now dominating. He gets yet another kill. And they might even look to go for Yang, but Yang juking back and forth. Jauma also has this Blink Dagger to maybe Blink toss back into his team. Faith Beyond, he's under vision. They got the Wrath of Nature to land, and now they're going to get this kill into Faith Beyond very easily. XM getting the credit for that one and taking away the spree.
Agnes has been completed now on Pudge, so they're ready to fight as a team. Fate Beyond dying there, they couldn't continue fighting. He had no mana. Sand King was also pretty damn low. He used on himself already defensively, so they needed to back out this Roche. If they could contest it, if PSG.LGD understands what's happening and they run there fast enough, the Roche already on 50%, they need to move.
They need to go now. They're waiting. They're trying to group up. They're trying to smoke. It's going to be really close. It might be down to the wire.
Getting it.
No. Why here? Winter's Curse, not going to matter. They've got the Avalanche that hits 4 heroes. The Gale Force comes in with a Sonic Wave. It's a symphony of skills. All coming in for Vici, but it only gets the Winter Wyvern. They've got the Doom on the Yang. They'll get the kill on the Brewmaster. And even though it's all lined up, they're going to lose another Erica. He's been hit by the hook. They'll get the kill with Ame having that upgraded rod thanks to the Ags. And it's a double kill there for him too. That all lined up perfectly for Vici, and yet they lose more than they gain.
It's like on one side you have this perfect symphony of skills, and on the other you just have a guy bashing his head against the keyboard. You know? And it doesn't matter. It was so important for them to kill the Doom. That's really what did it like in the story, to use the Doom on the Panda to kill the Panda, the Brewmaster. After that, the team fight is way easier. Plus, you have to understand that they did waste a lot of their resources killing Roche, so they didn't necessarily have everything there ready for the fight.
It is a huge blessing they ended up winning that team fight, though, because VG ended up winning that, getting the rush on and then getting out. It would have been a disaster for LGD to just get run over at this point. Now probably just time to pick up like his next item after this Aghanim Scepter, and then he started to feel very scary. The Blink Dagger and the BKB he's going for then. Once you have the BKB done, you just like exist in the team fight and no one can stop you. And you end up doing so much damage just from existing with this rod active.
Using Q, he might be the one that gets jumped on, or Fade Beyond. Tiny is close enough. This is a really nice smoke from them, but they don't have the Panda close enough.
Erica, Epicenter, they're on him. They want to go after and get this kill on the Nature's Prophet. Yule's up into the air. And Erica looking like he is dead thanks to the Burrow Strike and the control there for nothing to say. I mean, Erica not exactly having the best game on this Nature's Prophet. And on the other side of the map, look over it. Now the Shackle lands out of the Death Prophet, but they've got the Blink as well to start the follow from nothing to say with the Burrow Strike. Fade Grenade thrown. They take the Aegis out of the hands of XM. Think about the Primal Split. They go into the Gale Force. That's keeping LGD nearby. They've got the Orchid to have some damage. There's the Sonic Wave as well as the Orchid burn, but the Yule's up in the air and he's going to survive. They've got the Winter's Curse. Nothing to say. Finally hit with a 3-point shot coming in from Jauma.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They look to add a +1. Ame, pretty tanky, but how tanky? Spirit Vessel's on him. Shackle connects. Of course, the 90-degree angle. That's very interesting. Blink stun on the 2. Ame already dead, but he does not have buyback. Faith Beyond chasing these heroes with the Shackle again. Victoria! Absolutely controlling the side of LGD with ease.
Beautiful plays by Victoria, really. Kiting the Pudge, also using the Shackle shot on him. Gale Force was really nice early on, just winning that fight for them. The amount of dots that they have, it's ridiculous. Even the Pudge that's extremely tanky does feel the pressure from all the damage over time on the side of Vici Gaming. The Witchblade, the Shadow Strike, the Cinderbro, the Vessel, it all adds up.
Yeah, it does. He ended up doing a lot of damage to himself with that rod. One of the bigger things that happened in that last team fight is the Death Prophet did make a slight mistake there on Beyond. He tried to throw the silence out to cancel the Brewmaster split, but Brew still ended up getting it. So when the Queen of Pain got back up, wasn't silenced, was able to blink away. He was able to get the Sonic Wave off and like free reign in that team fight instead of getting silenced immediately when responding with that Aegis. Tried to clutch out stop that Brewmaster ult a little bit too hard, even though it was like very unlikely you get that off.
Do you think the things change a lot once the BKBs are up? Like Doom almost has his. Pudge is kind of far away because he went for the blink first, but I have a feeling that the moment the BKBs do get there, those dots suddenly don't really matter anymore, and the amount of damage that VG Gaming's dealing gets halved pretty much.
I agree. I think it doesn't help this build the Nature's Prophet went. The Witchblade into the Maelstrom. It's like magic damage that's not being pumped out onto these enemy heroes from your right clicker, which makes it even harder.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Almost tags on Panda though. Like he's got the gold right now.
Yeah, but the only issue with that is that it gives you 2 ultimates. It doesn't improve your like quick team fight at all. And these team fights are going to come out pretty fast. It doesn't help with the Doom coming out onto you either. So I feel like this isn't a solution to these fights that are relatively even so far. It's
We do have Lincolns though, right? On QOP, so perhaps you can toss that on the Brew.
Yeah.
Looking for Victoria, looking for the Blink Burrow Strike, but the Gale Force once again pushing them back short on the Burrow Strike.
Yeah. Nice attempt.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I feel that with the Aghanim's on Brew, the way you could fight perhaps is you just use this ultimate and keep the Pudge cycloned. He doesn't have a BKB, so keep him cycloned, fight with everyone else, and then deal with him a little bit later. Yeah. It's an option, because there are more important targets to kill anyway.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The important target right now for PSG.LGD is Erica. They moved like 3 heroes to try to contest him. So pushing, you realize something was wrong, and he ends up just like portal scrolling back to base instead of any lanes. Then he heads up top and manages to take that tower. This is one thing they have going their way that they didn't have on their side last time. PSG.LGD were running the Nature's Prophet. You know, you chip damage away at the tier 2 towers. I think he had like Nature's Call off of that tower earlier, managed to bring it down to like half HP. He doesn't have the shard yet, but you don't really need it in this kind of game. He's been much more active in these team fights. He does have a keyed up as his next item though, so
he'll have it in a couple of minutes.
It's pretty late actually. I take back what I said. I'm gonna do a 180. I'm not happy that he doesn't have the shard yet.
Yeah, I didn't go Mjolnir straight up like Ame did on Nature's Prophet. He's gone Witchblade, Maelstrom, BKB.
Because he went also Witchblade a bit early, so you get the attack speed from that. Then you get the Maelstrom, you get a ton of magic damage from those two. And the attack speed is obviously there, so it's not necessary to get that Mjolnir that early on.
Radiant's
Is that the money for the Aghanim shard right now? It still hasn't bought it out.
Maybe thinking about
Certainly doesn't go Mjolnir. Come on, man. Get the Hater Train, Jubileens.
Doesn't need to. Feels confident that they're moving around as a team at the moment. Maybe saving out on the cash. Maybe thinking of even going into the Lincolns.
It's an investment. You then have Greater Trance farming for you and pushing the lanes in, man.
I have to say they're doing a really good job at keeping up with the net worth. They're playing versus a Doom with a Midas. They're still doing, they're only 2k behind on the side of VG Gaming. And yeah, Nature's Prophet does farm extremely fast, but between him and Queen of Pain, the farm has been distributed really nicely.
Let's find out Titan. So Roshan respawning in 1 minute, by the way. So that's going to be the next objective. They scan out on PSG.LGD as well. They realize that they did hit the timer just now, and QOP is sitting in this the entire time. So maybe they get baited out.
Gale Force again, pushing nothing to say into the side of Vici. They go for the primal split. They wanted to go 1-2 gut punch on this real quick. Unfortunately, not quick enough, as LGD are able to reset, losing nothing at the moment.
And they do have a BKB now. It's flying out to the Pudge. A huge game changer, I believe, for them.
They have the second primal split available too.
Yeah. They've got 9-second BKBs on 3 heroes now. So they're going to be more than happy to take this fight.
X and Yang, They're trying to take back the outpost. There's the avalanche as well as the tosses come through with the Orchid out onto Innocence, but they caught themselves XM. They end up losing themselves the Witch Wyvern, but they'll take that for a kill on the Queen of Pain, who doesn't have buyback. Jauma's going to die next. Now Victoria trying to help with the Gale Force to get Yang out. And that Earth Bear or Earth Panda is well looking to run. That doesn't work, by the way, Ame. You're not able to hook that. They get him back to form. The shackle lands, but it's not going to matter. Yang on the run. I say it's not going to matter, but look how slow they are. There's the hook from Ame, and the chase is on from Faith Beyond. Looking to get a kill here onto Victoria. Victoria doesn't have the mana to throw out a shackle to survive. He's screwed up thanks to the shard on Faith Beyond with that Spirit Siphon, and they get the kill onto Victoria, taking out 4 heroes on the side of Vici. It's ouch town for Vici. Population, well, XM, Yang, Jauma, and Victoria.
Just completely crushing them the moment that BKB is up on Pudge. The game becomes much easier. Queen of Pain perhaps dying a bit too early in that fight unnecessarily. Gets doomed, gets stunned as well by Doom. The Lincolns is fine, but if you get stunned by anything, you still die. I'm surprised they aren't taking Roche, by the way. They actually decided to go back.
They don't have an amazing right clicker, and the exorcism had just worn off, right? So
no, their damage isn't amazing. I thought maybe if they just all 5 of them, all 4 of them that were alive just started hitting it. They could, but it would be dangerous, definitely.
There's no way that VG gets away with this, though, right?
Secretly going for it, or maybe LGD are aware and they want to wait for their moment to go in. Erica and XM are in the pit. There's just a second to go before they're in. They're looking for the Winter's Curse. It's not going to be in time. The Aegis is already picked up with the BKB being bought by Erica. And there's an easy kill onto why the hook was used. And now the Gale Force will not push back anybody on the side of LGD. It was close on the timing, but LGD a little hesitant and a little off.
It's hard to go in that fight because you don't have Doom. That's the biggest issue. And Wyvern is going in. Okay, Innocence was a little bit late, but even if he was there on time, like there's Lincolns. It's perhaps not that easy to instantly lock in on a target and Winter's Curse.
Yeah, you have to choose the right one and hope that he doesn't press that Lincoln Sphere in time as you're going on him.
I don't know if he should have been going alone, though. And if that's like the guessing game, shouldn't you have maybe Doom, who's got the War Stomp, Blink War Stomp with that, or try to make
BKBs as well?
Yeah, I know, but try to make a surprise play.
Radiant's middle tower.
No, for sure. I meant Doom has a BKB as well.
Right.
He could have went in. That's true. They just decided not to wait out the next fight with Exorcism with level 20 with Doom when everything is ready. It's not like this age changes things massively, but this smoke might. Their
Shard wasn't even passed over to Erica, by the way. It was used on the Queen of Pain.
I mean, that makes sense. The Queen of Pain shard is very good. It's one of the best in the games. It silences you, come into the middle of a team fight. I mean, you can stop or dismember it just by blinking in now. Or, like, completely botch Sand King's initiation, for that matter. It's good for so many reasons. I really like QOP shard. But yeah, no, it doesn't look like it. They're just playing defensive at the moment. Now Innocence is going for that Aeon disc to be able to stop them from just blowing him up, so he'll be able to consistently get off ultimates in team fight. It's been a rough game for him. He's like 0-11 right now.
It's been a very difficult game. I completely agree. I didn't really see any impact so far from the Wyvern. Even the cold embraces have been just completely negated by the dots and magic damage and Vestal. So
yeah. You were right about this one thing earlier. You're talking about how later in the game, these team fights, Brewmaster, it's just gonna be the Earth Panda running around. It's exactly what happened on the previous team fight. And you know, we talked about this. The Egg and Scepter and the Refresher build on Brewmaster, yes, they'll give you like more splits. You can reset if they clear out like 2 of your pandas, but that's just gonna happen again and again. If you need something else that's going to allow you to have an impact in these fights,
but
whether that be like Shiva's Guard or...
Yeah, you could go for some AC, Shiva's, whatever, but I still think that Refresher is the optimal build on you with the eggs, and maybe the plan should be to just keep a Pudge in the air. Just don't let him rot away all your Brawlings. Don't let them kill them that way. then you are actually making use of that refresher. You're forcing his BKB early, perhaps.
Yep.
I love how Ame went to try and hook the Earth Panda as well.
Yeah.
He was just like, all right, go.
Maybe he was... There's no way. Usually you click on the panda and you kind of know when he's about to turn back in.
Right.
And that's where you try to hook. But that Earth Panda was long and far away from being...
Maybe he thought he would end the ult early or something like that.
That's also possible. Maybe that's some like next level
Gale
thing.
Force, BKB, Avalanche, Easy Force.
That's his BKB though, and it's got a pretty big cooldown now. It's 90 seconds. He's not going to have it for this next fight. Maybe they want to try to make something happen off of this. Or at least it looks like they want to try to shove this mid tier too. There's a lot of outer tower that they have. He still doesn't have his egg shard.
Oh, look, on Erica. They've got the dismember. They're going to lock him down. Faith Beyond with the exorcism pops his BKB now. And there goes Ame's. Blink Burrow Strike hits the Lincoln. They've got the epicenter going. There's the toss out on and nothing to say. He's already dead. Sonic Wave pushes him back. Keeps Jama alive, but the hook is hit by Ame. They've got the Gale Force keeping LGD in a bit of a precarious position. If they get killed on Ame, they'll take out the Pudge. But Faith Beyond's the damage dealer at the moment. They've got the work it through out onto Y. Y's going to die again. The Shackle continues to land here. They don't call him Victoria, they call him the Warden because he's putting all of LGD in shackles.
This is a serious problem at this point. I feel like now they just need to focus down the win ranger. There's way too much disable. He's getting off in these team fights. It is crazy.
Remember when they took Aegis, I said it's not going to be a big issue. It was a huge issue. Like they hooked the Prophet, sure, but he has Satanic BKB and Aegis, so you can't commit really. Because of that, nothing to say commits in a different fight. I mean, the same fight, different position, different targets, and they can't kill anyone. In the end, it's only the tiny that falls. Meanwhile, you lose both of your main cores. It's a huge blunder, I would say, from PSG.LGD to even try and fight that. Aegis was about to expire, 40 seconds left, so maybe just waiting that one out would have been better.
Yeah, it was such an awkward beginning of that fight. Neither of them wanted to fight each other. They just probably had to change targets as well because so much damage is magical between the Mjolnir and the Witchblade. So he just didn't want to hit Pudge with the BKB active.
Finally, Y with a Winter's Curse that lands on multiple heroes. They've got the Gale Force coming in. They throw out the Avalanche. They have the Doom out on XM. Maybe have the damage to get a kill here. Y dies again. Xingqiu on the run. Burrow Strike lands. Keeps Xingqiu alive. They get the kill on XM with a power shot coming in from Victoria. Again, the Warden strikes. They've got themselves the Avalanche running on a 2. They get the kill on nothing to say. They'll take out Y, who just bought back. Xingqiu bought back here too. Pudge is coming in, trying to TP forward to try and hold this game in some sort of a threshold. But the right click Pudge doing a Faith Beyond. Here comes Pudge as the dismember onto Yang to get the kill out on the Brewmaster. There's the Avalanche coming in. But Erica trying to survive with the BKB pop here by Ame. He's the last hope. They get the kill to Erica. They'll take out Victoria, but they've got the buybacks. No more BKB. Ame on the run. Hit with the orc, and they've got the lockdown. Outtown is back. The series is over. Fiji take the 2-0 over LGD. Erica with an ultra kill to cap it off.
Bring on the Reddit. This team is washed.